Hey guys, what's up? It's Dustin, Nostalgia Hot Rods. We're here at episode 2, Road to SEMA. If you haven't been to the channel yet, come check it out. You're gonna see cars like Drakon, Violent. Let's go through it. So, it's been a month. We got new fenders on the car. They're tacked in, customer loves them. Getting the front air splitter built, sitting over here on the bench. Dash, Jared got the entire dash built. Come on in, check it out. Got the dash built. Sean killed it on the design of this dash. And man, we're loving it. We got the AC vents coming in, using AC vents out of an Audi. We got all the floors 100% finished up. We made the center section of the floor, where what we call the tunnel, fully removable because it does have a PPG sequential transmission. So if we ever have to get to anything, we could just pull the center console out, remove this part of the center, or the part of the floor, and be able to work on it. Steering column fully mounted. We touched on the Whipple'd pedals. Those are 100% done. And the reservoirs, everything mounted, complete. Vintage air box, fully mounted, complete. All our wiring, right? So this entire car is running off of a system called Motec. It's a super high advanced system, right? It'll run the entire car. We got the spot and we made all the brackets and the necessary panels for all the ECMs, PDMs, and TCMs for our Motec system. So that's already all done. So here in the trunk, we got fuel cell fully mounted. You probably say, man, why is there an air compressor in this car? It's coilover. Well, that air compressor fills this 3-gallon tank that will run the pneumatic shifters for the PPG transmission. So it's all paddle shift pneumatic. Also, that compressor, that tank, this is a coil over airbag suspension. So not for so much, you know, like some of our other builds where we lay them out on the floor. This is for all performance. The Motec will control the air system, so at a higher rate of speed, the car will automatically suck down lower to the ground. So coming over to the batteries, these are 2 Braille batteries, crazy cranking amps, 675 cold cranking amps each. Also, C-Tech, there'll be what's called a CS-free charging system in this car as well. Check out C-Tech at SEMA. That's where this car will be in 6 months. I know it sounds crazy, but now we've been putting in the work. 2-3 guys working on this car every day, all day long. We'll have this thing over to body and paint in 35 days. We have to. Then we have roughly 65 to 85 days to get this thing painted, and then over to the interior side to get all the interior done in the car. So it's gonna be crazy for the next 6 months around here. Kind of looking at this other empty space in the trunk, this car is also gonna be equipped with ABS brakes. The Motec will also be able to control wheel speed, traction control, and this car will also have launch control. So this thing is gonna be an epic street car / race car / show car. Check this thing out at the C-Tech booth 2024. Oh, hey, before we go, we gotta check something out. UPS just came, dropped off a box from Sparco. I think our seats just got here for Drakon. Let's go check that out. Check these things out. Let's get these Sparcos out of here, man. It was really in that box. Check it out. It's like Christmas Day. All the cool parts showing up. And they double, triple wrap these things, man. I guess you should for how much these things cost. And you know the crazy thing is we're not even using the fabric that's on here. This will all the upholstery will be redone. But yeah, super cool seat. Lightweight, fits you good. Get the Sparco 5-point harnesses through there. So Paul, the owner of Drakon, is a pretty tall individual, right? So we decided to use these Sparcos because it is a taller back seat. He does have head support, and it's a very low seat to the ground, right? So, and if you guys know anything about a Gen 2 Firebird, they're like chopped from the factory. There's not a whole lot of headroom in the car. So we're trying to get this thing as far down on the floor as possible to give him as much headroom as we possibly can. So that's why we decided to use these Sparcos, and they're just a bitchin' looking seat. All right, guys, here over at Violent, 68 Charger, man, this thing's getting close too. Both Drakon and Violent will both go to paint and body probably at the exact same time. We got about 35, maybe 45 days left of fabrication. The owner is actually coming in for the first time here in 2 weeks to check it out. I want him to sit in the car, make sure the seat position feels comfortable for him, steering column position, pedal position, you know, get in here, show him everything, make sure everything's 100% dialed before this thing goes over to body and paint. Come check out the back end, man. Chance and George have been working on the back end of the car, exhaust tips, getting the windshield frames 100% ready for the flush mount glass that's going in this thing. So we're kind of finishing up and doing all the small final touches of this thing before it goes over. Come on and check it out. Here at the back of the car, man, Chance has been really doing the bumper fitment, basically making the bumper fit with 1/8" gaps all the way around, right? So he's got the rear spoiler going into the rear bumper pocket, and everything's coming along amazing. He's got the exhaust bezels made, both sides done. Don't mind all these drawings. This is for our lower balance that we're getting ready to build. We're building a really cool but simple lower air diffuser. Nothing over the top, just super simple. I really liked, man, I just ran into a 2024 Shelby Mustang, and I was debating on doing this rectangle exhaust cutout, if you will, which we just made these round tips, man, but I seen it on this 2024 Mustang and it looked good, so I thought I'd run it, man. So rectangle bezels into a round tip, and the reason I decided to do that, not did it just look good on that Mustang, but 68 Charger, the round taillights, wanted to match it up with the round exhaust. So I think this is gonna look really good, and especially with the Black Widows that are right in front of this, man, this thing is gonna sound awesome. So Chance has been killing it on the back of this thing. George has been working on all the flush mount glass, getting the top of the body 100% dialed for the flush mount glass. Also, he's been dialing in on and finishing up all the inner wheel tubs. We added a wheel lip. So a 68, 69 Charger, this is just flat. There is no edge here. I know it's hard to see, but we added a little 3/16 of a roll all the way around on each fender. And I think it's really gonna make it pop. The color that this thing is, man, on the edges, it's gonna pop. So he's been doing great, getting all the inner wheel tubs 100% finished, getting the floors 100% finished. So everything on the bottom side of this car is done. All we got left is mount the fuel cell as soon as we get done with the air diffuser and build the exhaust. But like I said, we got 35 to 45 days to get over to body and paint, because now we gotta get that House of Colors purple on this thing, which I'm gonna show you guys. House of Colors came up with a purple for this car that the owner and I fell in love with, and that's what we're going with, man. So let's go check on Whipple'd and see where we're at with that. All right, guys, does this look familiar? Yeah, that's Whipple'd, man. So 15 days ago, it was a complete car, right? We sent it back out to Media Blast, had the whole car gone back over. We bring it back, super important steps in this industry. So you use a self-etching primer, and then over the top of that, we do 4 coats of high build primer, so we can start blocking the car, finding the lows and the highs, so then we can start doing body work. So I've got 2 guys working on this thing full blast, right? Trying to get, I'd like to see the car in the next 30 days in what's called final prime. Getting ready to check everything. The whole car will be put back together, checking gaps, checking all of our body lines, making sure that this thing is ready for paint. So right now, we're keeping it on the chassis so we can rehang the doors, the front fenders, the hood, make sure all our gaps are good while we're doing body work. As soon as all that's done and it's in final primer, it'll get blown apart again into a million pieces. The chassis will be fully painted, and then the body will be fully painted. And the whole bottom of this car is being painted and clear coated and color sanded and buffed. So it's gonna be finished through and through. So let's check out and see what the guys have been getting done. So they've started on body work. It's been over here since, because we had to send it out to Media Blast, that takes time. It was gone for a week. Got it back, primed it, let everything dry. So Randy's been on this thing the last 2 days. So he's been blocking out all the high build and just been adding a little bit of body filler here. And we don't use a whole lot of Bondo. If you want to come check this out, some people are like, oh, everybody, you know, fucking skin coats and use Bondo. There's not even a 30-second, a millimeter. So bare steel, primer, a little bit of filler. We'll do our filler, we'll keep blocking, high build prime this car again. The next time you guys see it, it'll be fully put together. We'll be checking all the gaps and making this thing laser straight. So, man, this one's going in Segola, and I can't thank Segola enough for sponsoring us on all the paint guns and paint suits for the shop. And this car will represent them, SEMA 2024. All right, guys, we're here at the 65 Corvette. This car will be in the FiTech booth at SEMA, powered by a 427, an actual 427 LS7. It's the 650 horsepower crate engine from General Motors, backed with the Tremec T56. And this car, House of Colors paint, the blackest black I've ever seen all the years I've been doing this. This black is black. And man, it looks good. And this car I'm working on myself personally. Today, hung doors, got the rockers on, hanging bumpers. I got Sebastian wiring it. Tomorrow I'd like to get the other door on. I got the other bumper to do, get the headlights adjusted, and then just help Sebastian keep wiring. We're gonna try to have this car running in the next 2 weeks. So fuel system's plumbed, fuel cells in. I got the vintage air, all that good stuff to do, run all my AC lines and heater lines. But man, we are knocking it out on this car, man. This car's only been here less than a year at the moment. And so we built a full custom chassis, custom floors. We're fitting a 335 tire in the rear. We built the chassis in-house, did all the body work, custom engine bay, custom exhaust, center exit exhaust. So, man, in the last, I think 10 months this thing's been here, we are moving. And this car should be 100% done, I would say, by July. I think it'll be done by July. What's cool about the Corvettes for us, the C2, this is number 10 for us. We've done a lot of C2 vets. And having laser machines and 4-axis CNC machines in our interior department, we have all this stuff that we've already AutoCAD'd. It's already been built. We have several different designs for the C2. So it's real cool. Once we get over interior, it's just start cutting, doing a little bit of sanding here and there, and these panels will be ready to wrap. So interior in this car, I believe, will be done in about 35 days. And man, it's gonna be so cool with everything just murdered out, except just big yellow Whipple'd calipers, front and back, with a couple little yellow stitches throughout the seats, but just tastefully done. So I can't wait for you guys to see this thing, FiTech booth, SEMA 2024. So here at the Porsche, this will be in Toyo's booth, Toyo Tread Path, SEMA 2024. This thing, we're really close. All body panels mounted, cars fully wired, running, driving. We're waiting on a set of wheels from Forge Line and us to do the interior. So problem is, at the moment, we have 3 cars over there right now being assembled and getting interior. So she's gonna sit for, I would say, the next 20, 30 days until a spot opens up over there. We can get it over there. Actually, we're gonna take the Corvette and the Porsche over at the same time and tag team them. But what's cool about this Porsche, it's got a carbon fiber dash already done, right? Seats, already ordered. We do have to reupholster them, but they fit, they're in the car. We got to build a center console and 2 door panels and a set of kick panels. This thing, I think we could knock it out again, 30 days, this thing is wrapped up. And man, this car is gonna be wicked. I mean, a twin turbo, LS2, traverse transaxle, mid-engine. The motor, I mean, the motor is capable of 1,000. We'll never put it there, but we'll probably keep it at a respectable 750. But man, the car doesn't weigh all the 2,300 pounds. So this car is going to be a fucking go-kart. So I can't wait to drive it. I've driven around the block a couple times, but actual driving it will probably take place a couple weeks before SEMA, shaking the bugs out. I can't wait to get this in the Toyo booth amongst all the other just, you know the cars that are in Toyo. I mean, the European, the Wazoo Mercedes, right? The crazy Datsuns. Man, it's gonna be cool to have this car in the Toyo booth, SEMA 2024. All right, now that we wrapped up all the SEMA builds, we may have one more going. We got a phone call from one of our paint companies that wants to use one of our builds. We have this 65 Chevelle that we've been building for the last year and a half. It's got a Wagner, 1,200 horsepower, 4.5 liter Whipple. I mean, it's a big blower, right? Hangs out of the hood. We built a carbon fiber hood for it, carbon fiber deck lid, all black chrome. This car is gonna be wicked, man. And we just flow coated these parts. Kind of explain that. So after you do all the body work and you get everything perfect, we base coat the panels, 4 coats of base. We let them sit overnight. We come in the next day, we sand with 800 the base, flatten out all the metallics. We come back, another 2 or 3 coats, really look at the color, make sure it's flat. There's no zebra stripes, it's blotchy. As you guys know, the builders that are watching, the grays that we paint, very hard to spray and make them look flat and keeping the metallics the same. Then after we do that, we clear coat it 4 times. Then we let them dry for about a week. We cut them back open with 600, flatten the clear out, and then we come back like we did today and put another 4 coats of clear on top of that. So now these things will be ready to actually color sand and buff. So here in the next couple weeks, these things will be color sanded and buffed, and that body will be sitting on the chassis, and we'll be hanging parts and putting the car back together. All right, guys, let's go check out some more stuff. Over here at the 58 Apache, this is our driver series truck, and it's coming out very nice for a daily driver. So we just finished up the bedwood. We did a red oak, used a black cherry stain, brand new bedwood kit from Bedwoods. They fit great, a little bit of sanding here and there. And man, that bedwood sure turned out nice. Gentleman wants to drive it, take it to Home Depot on the weekends, do house projects. We're getting ready to start interior on this thing next week. We got everything else done on the truck. We are waiting for the bumpers to come back from chrome. We bolt those things on. Next week, we start interior on the inside. This thing should be out the door by the end of June. Let's go check out the next one. Hey guys, over here at the 65 Ford F100, we got the chassis in from SS Chassis Works. Cab mounted on the chassis, doors back on the cab. We're gapping the doors to the cab, and we're hanging the front end right now to gap the fenders to the doors. We're gonna get all the body work in rough, get the thing in high build primer, and then get the motor and trans, which is a 5.0 Coyote with a Tremec T56. That will be going in here very soon, getting exhaust built, drive lines measured. The reason we're kind of doing this one backwards of typically how we do things is the fab guys are so busy getting Violent, getting Drakon, getting Whipple'd, getting the other Charger, all put together. So we kind of reverse the roles. We're getting the body work done on this thing. The good news is we're not doing any fab work to this thing. It is an original style truck on a new chassis with a new drivetrain. No widening, no chopping, no channeling. And we're getting it going, and it'll be in the fab department here in probably the next 30 days. So keep an eye out for this one. We're gonna throw up some renderings on here Tell us what you think. Give us a thumbs up if you like it or anything you guys are seeing. Maybe we changed some stuff. Let us know. All right, guys. New project, 57 Nomad. Gentleman lives out in Southern California where the weather is awesome, not like Las Vegas where it's 110. Art Morrison chassis. Tom Nelson, supercharged, 1,200 horsepower. Got some crazy ideas floating. We're not 100% on color scheme yet, but just gonna be a super clean shaved bumpers, super clean engine bay. Just a nice show car slash driver. Vintage air going in, of course. New relic power windows. House of colors, not sure what color yet, but man, it's gonna be a cool car. Probably won't be done for a year and a half, maybe 2 years, but new project just starting. What's cool is we already got the chassis here. Another one, new project, roaster shop spec, 68 Camaro going on this chassis. Body is not here yet, it is out at Media Blast, but new project just started for actually a local guy. I do not build a lot of cars for locals in Las Vegas. Everything comes from out of state. But this guy, Charles, we've been working together for a while, getting a lot of parts ordered up, getting everything here. So when the chassis showed up, we could just get to work. And now that it just arrived today, we'll get it going. All right, let's go check out some more stuff. All right, guys, here on the finish side, the 54 Chevy. This one, we're not doing the interior on. The owner is sending it out to a gentleman that he uses on all of his cars. It's this gentleman that owns, 50 plus hot rods. So we got the car about 90% complete, ready to go over to the interior shop. We just got done putting the entire front end on the car as far as all the chrome work. Everything's from Ogden Chrome. Got everything put on, everything lined up, grill in, hood is on, lined up. Car is running, driving. I think maybe in the last episode, maybe not, I don't know. We did some tuning stuff. Anyway, car is running, driving. We are waiting on a set of rear wheels. When I pulled all my measurements when we first were building the car, I went with a really wide wheel where there wasn't a whole lot of room. And then we decided in fabrication that we changed the wheel well openings just a little bit, and I'm not comfortable with how they fit. They do fit, but man, there's a piece of paper on both sides. So sent them back to Budnick, having them narrowed, getting those back on the car hopefully next week. And a couple little things of adjustment glass. We're setting all the quarter glass to the door glass now, getting all that mated up. And then gonna put the rubber that you see here tomorrow on the convertible top, get the convertible top up latched, get everything mounted, windows up, sealed, and then she'll be ready to go to interior next week. And you might see this one at SEMA. I haven't got any phone calls on it yet, but I think once the car is done, we put some videos out there, I think somebody will give us a shout. The car is just, 54 Chevy, and there's so much sheet metal work done on this car. A 54 Chevy is a very rare car in general, especially a convertible. And then Frenching in 55 front fenders onto a 54, hand making an entire front end, extending rockers, widening rear quarters, changing the rear deck lid, changing the hood, the way it opens, and just the whole dynamic of the hood. Supercharged LSX, paddle shift 6L90E. And this thing's gonna be cool. You guys should see it at SEMA. Interior should be done on this thing in the next 3 to 4 months. So it should be done right about that time. So, all right guys, let's head over to Rev City. 58 Corvette, fully finished, ready to be shipped out. And we finished that 1987 FJ60 that's going back to my buddy Paul in New Jersey. We just finished that. They're both at Rev City, getting detailed up and getting shipped out next week. And those guys will have those cars here in the next couple weeks. This 58 Corvette was a full build. We did everything from chassis to custom chrome work to interior, powered by an LS2 with a Magnuson 2.9 liter supercharger, backed with a Tremec T56. Man, all independent suspension, raceline wheels, Whipple'd brakes, Dakota Digital, vintage air. Man, this thing is ready to go home. We're gonna have it detailed here at Rev City, and we're gonna get it to the owner. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, tell us what you think. Later, I'm out.